welcome Tayvion Robinson. Tayvion, nice to see you.
Nice to see you too, man.
From Virginia Tech to Kentucky, practice starts tomorrow. How's it been being in Lexington?
It's been fun. I've been here since January. It's about 7 months, 8 months. I've liked it, bonded with the guys immediately, the coaches, met some great people, and I've been enjoying it since I've been here.
You are here thanks to Athlete Advantage, who's doing the NIL stuff, which we will talk about in a little bit. But tell me, you're sitting there at Virginia Tech in Blacksburg, where I've been a number of times, and you decide you want to go somewhere else. Why Kentucky?
It was just the opportunity. I seen, obviously, what Wandale did last season.
Was that a big part of it?
It was a big part. His production, the type of offense they were running, obviously Will at quarterback. And as soon as I went in the portal, it was one of the schools I talked to immediately, and it was can't get no better than that.
When you see a lot of people sit there and say, okay, Wandale, here's the replacement. And those are big shoes. He had a huge year. Do you like that talk? Do you sort of or do you say, don't put that on me?
I don't really I obviously respect what he did. It was nothing short of great the season he had, setting both records. But, I came here to make a name for myself.
I understand.
With 2 different players, and this is 2 different seasons. So
yes. What do you think about the new offensive coordinator? You know him better than we do at this point, Rich Scangarello. He's a name to us, but we haven't seen him. What do you think?
I like him. He came from San Fran. We brought a lot of that offense here, that West Coast type of terminology, and it didn't really change drastically much from what Liam was running, but it's still a very pass-friendly offense and a run-heavy offense as well because, the running backs we have. But, he's a very smart guy. You can tell he knows a lot about the game, and he just wants to win.
What do you think of the offensive weapons? You got you at wide receiver, got somebody he knows a little bit, Dane Key.
Yeah.
Good tight end room, running backs, and, of course, Will. What do you think of the offense as a whole?
I think we're a very well-balanced offense. It's not where we need one person to shine greatly like last season. We got a lot of weapons, a lot of good tight ends back, more production, more guys in the receiving room. I think a good chance to be a very explosive offense.
Talk to me about the receiving room because, you're going to play, you're going to start, you're going to be one of the feature guys. But really the others are kind of wide open in terms of, DeMarcus Harris got some time last year, but a lot of these guys are either freshmen or have not played before. Who do you see as kind of sticking out to you, an experienced wide receiver?
The most Dane Key. Dane.
We keep hearing that. So,
yeah.
Ryan, I know you're going to be a proud papa here, but explain to people how he's been doing.
He's been doing great. He was early enrollee in January, and the second he got here, he was nothing short of what people thought of him, the expectations people had. He came in, was making plays. He don't look like a freshman when he's on the field until you ask him what class you're in. But he gets starter reps. He's a guy who knows his information, goes different guys, X, Y, X and Z. He's special. He's going to be special.
Any other guys stick out to you?
Rasan Lewis was a guy I got close to it real quick when I got here because we play the same position. He's very versatile. He knows basically every position from outside to inside. DeMarcus Harris is another vet in the room, knows his information, he's a good leader, goes about his business a good way. I think we got a good room this year.
What's the he's going to be in here in a minute, so you got to be careful what you say. But what's your thought process on Will? How's that chemistry been working?
It's been great. He's obviously a big part of why I came here as well. Having that type of talent behind center, being able to throw the ball. It's been good though. The chemistry.
You don't think he's weird, like eating those bananas upside down and all that? Like you don't think he's like a little different?
It's definitely different. But, I think it's a joke between him and whoever else he does it with. But he's a cool dude. He's interesting. He's a freak of nature in the weight room. Goes about his business well. Can't wait to play with him. Honestly.
How have you found Lexington? Blacksburg is. It's a little different, smaller than this. How have you found Lexington?
I liked it. It gives you more of like a city vibe than Blacksburg. Blacksburg's like a real college town. Like it was just Blacksburg and that was it.
Yeah.
Like Lexington is, obviously bigger.
You been to any horse stuff?
Not yet, but I want to.
Do you? You want to go to the horse places?
I definitely do.
Yeah. Well, people seem to have fun here, so I'm glad you're – Mark Stoops, I saw him Saturday night, and he was doing his Mark Stoops thing saying, why can't we win the whole thing, et cetera. Like, you've been around him. How do you feel about the Stoops?
He's a good guy, too. He's real genuine. He's one of those coaches who's not about, killing his players, having them in the facility all day.
Does that get out? Like, when you're sitting there and you're trying to figure out where to go, do schools have reputations like, okay, that's a guy who's a player's coach, that's a guy who maybe is a little nuts? Like, do you hear that stuff?
You hear it from guys you may know in college, and then you kind of pick it up yourself when you go through the recruiting process.
How so? How do you – because this is going to surprise you. I never got recruited for anything. So, I do wonder, how do you know, what's what? Once
you've sat down, gone on a ton of visits, you kind of start to get those guys who are just – have a set sales pitch, and they tell you what they need to tell you to get you to come, and the real genuine people. And it's hard to just explain it, but the more you're around it, you get that feeling.
And did you feel this was a place where people?
Yeah, definitely did with Mark Stoops, and also the other coaches around him. It was definitely a real genuine, a real place.
Now, you played in that bowl game a few years ago.
Yeah.
And if I remember, Ryan, you remind me, didn't we crush them?
If I'm not mistaken, I think we beat Virginia Tech pretty bad.
I mean, I don't.
It was close.
I don't.
It was close. It was close.
I mean, I feel like I remember us winning by 30.
Me too. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
It might be the case that it was on a last-second play. I don't remember, but were you? Did you? One of the things I remember is maybe y'all got into it a little bit at the NASCAR place and then on the field. Were you part of any of that? Were you out there swinging with Lynn Bowden?
No, when it happened at the stadium, I was in the locker room and I seen it on TV. And
because they showed it on the first take, and they showed it. Yeah.
And I'm watching it, and I'm like, oh, that is right out there, not even 100 feet away. And then half the people ran out the locker room, and the coach was like, no, you got to stay in. But that was crazy, and I think they ended up making a rule after that.
They did.
60-minute out rule or something like that. But
the Lynn Bowden rule.
Yeah, basically. And then the NASCAR incident, we just happened to be there at the same time, trash talking. Both entire teams were there, and that was just.
So you're saying you didn't have anything to do with that?
Not neither. I was on the bus.
Well, all right. A lot of people talk about the UK football locker room and fans as a close-knit group. Mm-hmm. Have you found that this is a group where the players are all very close?
Definitely. You definitely get that when you walk in that locker room. And the guys I've met, they've welcomed me in very well. The chemistry's gotten there. And I feel like I've been here for a long time. It's only been a couple, 7 months.
What's funny is because of the way the locker room is with a lot of new guys, you're almost a veteran you are a veteran as a player, but even a Kentucky veteran, even though you've never played, just because you've been here a little longer.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of new guys. Now, every time I have someone, I always say, Ryan gets one question. I'm going to let him ask you two because he knows the wide receiver room. Mm-hmm. So if you give him more than that, he gets off kilter. But I'm going to give him two questions. So go ahead.
Okay, I can't get a straight answer on this. I want you to – I don't think Jordan Anthony is here yet. Mm-hmm. But you got some speedsters in there. Barian Brown, DeKel, you. Who's the fastest? Who's actually the fastest receiver in the room?
Until Jordan gets here. Because is he here?
No, he's here.
Oh, he's here.
Yeah.
So how fast is that dude? We're here and he's crazy fast.
No, he's insanely fast. His jogging in practice is probably faster than half the team's sprint. He can go. When he goes for deep balls, they're told to just launch it.
And he'll
let him
go
down. Get it. Yeah.
Before he got here, then, who was the fastest?
Before he got here, in our room on the team.
Yeah, your room.
It's either between Tay Crooms or DeKel. I'm a nudge Tay. Straight lie.
Yeah. He says that's a fast dude. You said, what about on the team? Is Jordan the fastest on the team?
Yeah, definitely.
Who's second, you think?
Second fastest?
Let's just say it's a sprint.
Probably Barian Brown.
Well, now, how's he second on the team and not in the wide receiver room?
Well, before those two got here, it was Tay.
Oh, I see. Before. Okay, because they just got here.
They just got here. But now it goes Jordan Barian. But I think he probably still might be the second fastest on the team.
So in the return game, do you see where they're going to put two of those speedsters back there and just let them fly?
I can definitely see kick return.
Yeah.
Mostly.
Yeah.
But kind of in college, they kind of let running backs do that. But Why not put
Why
two of
not?
the fastest
Why not put
guys?
fast guys back there? Yeah.
All right, so I want to ask you about the season. You look at the schedule and you go, you know what? I mean, they can do some stuff, right? I mean, these games, there used to be in years past, we'd say, well, it's going to be hard for them to win that one. It's going to be hard for them to win that one. I mean, you look, I know players want to believe they can win all of them. Mm-hmm. But this is a year where, why can't you, right? I mean, do you guys feel that in the locker room? Like, there's no reason we can't have a really special year.
Yeah, we definitely feel that. Every time we're in the weight room, we break it down on a lane on three. And I just feel like the SC Championship. And so we have those expectations, those goals for ourselves, and we plan on reaching them.
Now, NIL's changed everything, obviously. You're working with Athlete Advantage, which you can learn more at athleteadvantage.xyz. What's that been like? You're now all of a sudden like a businessman.
Yeah, it's been awesome. It's definitely new because we didn't have the opportunity at Virginia Tech. But, I found a great group of guys, Ryan Miller, Fred Jackson, Ryan Maxwell, Rob. It's a great group. They really care about those guys and us, the whole team. And they do their job, and they're good at it.
Were you here when we had that thing earlier this year when they had the event here? Was he?
Yes, I was.
Yeah, we were back there.
Back there, yeah, I was here.
We'll probably have another one soon. So do you like – I mean, I feel like it gives you – just look at the folks here. I feel like it gives you a chance to interact with fans.
It does.
A lot more than you probably would have otherwise, right?
It definitely does. They give us the opportunity to, market ourselves, get people to know us. Ultimately the NIL is where you make money, and, they do the whole mantra of it all, and they're really good at what they do.
Have you been here long enough to hate Louisville? Say yes.
You gotta say yes.
Absolutely, 100% yes.
Yeah.
Hate them.
L's down.
L's down. You gotta, Louisville.
Yeah.
This is the one piece of advice from me. Hate Louisville, hate Tennessee. Everything else will be all right. Everything else, you do what you want.
Yeah.
But if need be, hate Louisville, hate Tennessee.
And I mean really hate them. Yeah.
Like, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't like them. Mm-hmm. We own Louisville. You're not saying that. We do. But like those two teams, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Have you gotten the sense of that at all?
I've gotten that with both teams before I got here. But
what was Virginia Tech's team? Was it Virginia?
Yeah, that was our biggest rival, UVA.
Yeah. Well, I do think you made a good decision. Like, once you've been beaten by Kentucky, you kind of need to join them. I understand. That makes sense. But I'm really looking forward to you. You seem like a really nice kid. Looking forward to watching you, and I expect big things from you. I think Ryan does too. Ryan's somebody who's always like Dane Key, and but you're the one guy who goes, well, and then Tayvion Robinson.
Well, I tell you, Dane really looks up to you and respects you a lot. And he's talking about when you guys are on the field now, you've got not just one weapon like we had last year with Wandale. You've got three or 4 or 5 weapons you can throw out there. Yeah. So he's really appreciated, I think, what you've done to help him with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Don't tell Dane he said that, because that'll embarrass him. And that's what he does. Tayvion, thank you very much. We appreciate it. I'm sure some of these fans want to say hi to you. We will take a break. 502-571 today. Give him a round of applause. We're here.